Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of News Round for Anfield Index. It's a strange one this Monday morning, isn't it? Sunday afternoon was not the result we wanted as Liverpool went down to defeat at Fulham 3-2. I'm your host, Dave Davis, coming to you from a pretty nice Edinburgh, actually. It looks like it could be a bright day, which you're hoping things will brighten up as we move through the week for the Reds. But we start as ever on News Round with the same old question of how are we? And it's a week a little bit for rival fans, I would say. And what I mean by that is if you are heading to work on Monday or you're catching your pals, and they probably sent it in the WhatsApp chat, the group chat, whatever it may be, they'll look and see if there's a chink in your armor. They're looking to just try and get into your head a little bit with the wheels are falling off, that type of job. Or you're coming unstuck like you did last season. Remember how it all went against Crystal Palace at the end, etc. You lot just run out of legs. It's happening again. And as Tan says there in the chat panel, maybe a few of you are feeling a bit frustrated. And listen, you're well entitled to. You think about that performance yesterday, well, as much as we rallied, it's fair to say, you make that many big mistakes. I don't really know what else you can say or expect to come back from realistically. But here's the absolute kicker on it all. For those who can't see it on YouTube, you put it on the screen there. The Reds are still 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League. There are only 7 games left to go. Arsenal or anyone else would trade their eyes teeth for it. They absolutely would. So all your mates who support other teams, when they're giving it to you tight this morning, and do you know what? You've got to take your medicine sometimes in football. So they will be. They'll be telling you like it's coming apart. You could be caught. Are you going to blow it? What's the other narratives that we've heard recently? These are the worst champions ever. This is the worst league season, etc., etc. Now, if you want to show why that is just not the case, look at the strength of this league. If you look at the teams downwards, like Forest have got some great players like Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson. Look how they're flying. You come down the league, I mean, Villa, Rashford, Asensio on loan. We take Morgan Rogers in a heartbeat. Newcastle, we take number 9. Fulham, Brighton, Bournemouth, even down to Brentford with the forwards, the likes of Visser, the likes of Mbuemo. This league now is uber competitive. The only real dross that tend to exist are the promoted teams, in all honesty. Let's be clear on that. Even Wolves, I'd take Kuno in a heartbeat. Yeah, the strength of the Premier League is there, which means, ladies and gents, if you do not show up against Fulham, if you make criminal, and I mean criminal, errors in the first half like that, it is what it is. You just give yourself too much to do. And probably it's worth hearing from the main man on a slot. Just a small clip here from what he said post-match yesterday.
So I don't worry about him.
What was your message to the players afterwards? And would you agree that the league table still looks unbelievable for you with 7 games to go?
The message was mainly that I think that I told them that they showed great character the second half, but not for the first time this season. We had a difficult first half. It didn't happen a lot, but I can come up with Southampton at home, for example, where we played quite poorly. And normally we are able to make up for that because of the mentality of the team, how fit they are, the subs we can bring.
Yeah, the mentality of the team, the subs we can bring. And it's interesting there. John Summers puts another awful performance from Salah. Needs to be subbed more often. No player is bigger than the team. Yesterday, it was the stars. It was the senior players not doing it. I mean, Mo misses a great chance. Not a good performance by him. I don't think anyone could really debate that. Van Dijk, Virgil again, all over the place. I think you have to be honest. It was a terrible performance by him, and that third goal from Muniz, you know, following on from struggling against Beto and Everton. And just to be clear, those two are our best players. Let's make no bones about it. Those are our two best players. They've been the stars of this season. They've largely carried this team for the season, but they struggled big time yesterday. Neither were really good against Everton. And when your stars shine, it falls into place for the rest. And there's various things that we'll talk about throughout the week on this. And in fact, at 9 o'clock, got David Lynch on Media Matters where we'll talk about this game specifically and look at specific aspects. And none more than that word I've just put, or that phrase I've just put on the screen, tiredness, the debate over that. There really is a split in the fan base on this, isn't there? You've got some fans saying, we're exhausted, we're completely, he's run them into the ground, they've nothing left to give. That's probably the extreme end. You've got the others then saying, hold on, he's just like needs to rotate a bit more. They're still there, but he's not rotating. You need to get the Elliots, the Chiesas and this into the team. I find myself really sort of in between there somewhere. I have to be completely honest, because I think tiredness, it's been a part, and some players have been overplayed. I would not debate that for a second. But yesterday, I don't think it was tiredness. I just think it was brain dead decisions. What is Robertson doing for that goal? Absolutely brain dead. Konate all over the place from the off, wasn't he? That pirouette thing where he nearly gave them a goal at 0-0, and then almost just when he a little nudge and he throws himself and starts crying about it a little bit. He didn't impress me at all yesterday. But for those who say tiredness, Curtis Jones made a mistake yesterday. He's not tired. He's not. Look at the minutes he's played. Also, if it was tiredness, you've got to balance this debate. How come we came back so strongly? How come? Yeah, there was a great period in the game when we were on top. And in fact, it just felt like almost Arne Slot made one sub too many with Chiesa. I think it was Robertson he bought off, and that just destabilised that whole forward momentum, took it away. I didn't think that was the best. Interesting, though, comments are flying in the chat panel. Apologies if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Allard van der Giesen, I think it is. Seriously hope Elliott gets more chance and stays in the summer. Loves Liverpool, will do everything for the team and is a big talent. Slot needs to understand he is important for the future. A lot of love for Harvey Elliott. Didn't think he could have scored that chance. Do think he made a positive impact like most of the forwards, or the subs, that came on. But yeah, I thought he should have scored that. And he wasn't the only one. Jota had a chance, he should have scored. Salah had a chance, he could have scored. Football sliding moments, isn't it? And it's almost the case that shoulda, woulda, coulda now, but that will give them heart a little bit. But Tan from Australia, first season waking up for every game. This is not the same Reds as a few weeks ago. I don't know what's going on, and mentions the decisions our defence are making. Yeah, I think honestly, I'm not sure it's tiredness. I just think it's silly, foolish mistakes. You hope, if anything, they learn from it and learn quickly. And maybe people will pounce on this, and I get it. It's not the first mistake Robbo especially has made this season, but we don't want to see the likes of Konate, Van Dijk. And let's not change history. They've been brilliant this season, but just at this moment in time, yeah, I'm not convinced. I think it's easy just to go to fatigue when something goes wrong or someone makes a bad decision. It's just the go-to answer a little bit for me. But you'll all see it differently. Now, this coming week, sometimes people will say that you want to go straight into another game, get over a defeat. That is the end of Liverpool playing 2 games a week for the rest of the season. Now, it's 1 game a week all the way through till the end of May. Well, if you are on the side of it's all tiredness, isn't that a good thing? That we're playing less games, the players get more rest in between, if you do fall into that. I actually do think it's good that it's one a week, just to sort of ease it down a little bit and focus on it one at a time. And actually, if you look at this next game coming up, West Ham, I don't think that's a bad one at all. West Ham have a horrendous record at Anfield, if anyone's paid attention to that in their recent history. Absolutely horrendous. If you look at West Ham, I mean, they're 16th in the league. Potter's stabilised them a little bit as well. But you look at they beat Leicester. Everyone beats Leicester, by the way, in their last 5. But they lost at home to Newcastle. They drew away at Everton. They lost away at Wolves. They drew at home to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth blew that, didn't they? That lead, if you watched it on Saturday as well. So actually, I don't think this is a bad game at all. So we should be positive about the opposition we're playing. We're back home at Anfield, a chance to stabilise it all. There's a couple of other reasons why I think it's important to be positive, and you step into our squad a little bit. This is going to sound like Kelleher bashing. I get it. But I thought he should have saved at least one yesterday. I do, especially that Muniz just seems to go through him. And I do think Alisson Becker, the holy goalie, would have stopped it. Just honest opinion. Doesn't necessarily make it right. Stuff we can't prove. But it's marginal differences. And I think Alisson stops one of them, which then, again, sliding doors moment, shoulda, woulda, coulda, I get. But 3-2. So you hope he's really back for West Ham. It's a bit strange. It's been 16 days, I think someone said, since the concussion injury. So you really hope it's back. That would be massive positive number 1. Massive positive number 2. Connor Bradley. The biggest positive for me yesterday. Changed the game a little bit when he came on, driving forward. It's a brilliant assist, isn't it, for Luis Diaz as well. He's going to start that game now, isn't he? And I'm not going to criticise Curtis Jones too much. He's not a right back. He's doing his best for the team. He's playing the game he can. But having a natural right back, Connor Bradley in our team, changes so much, especially at Anfield. And who it will also help is Mo Salah. Having a natural right back behind him and allowing him to do the things that he wants to do. Okay? Those are honestly major positives for me to take, as well as a week to prepare towards it. And the other thing I think you will see right now, Luis Diaz. I mean, I don't know. Cody Gakpo just seems to me, I don't say empty shirt, but just struggling on a return from injury. And I know he played 270-odd minutes for the Dutch, didn't he, in that international break? But in a Liverpool shirt, he really seems to be struggling massively. So I think Luis Diaz back is a big fill-up for this team. So when you think Alisson back, Bradley back, allowing Salah to play his natural game, allowing Diaz back into the starting lineup, West Ham at home, I think it's a lot more positive. Just got to be honest about that. And the week's break, all those little combination of factors play into it. And you can see what people are saying as well. Allard there saying Bradley is so important, driving forward, and his energy is having a big impact. You saw yesterday he instantly helps Mo Salah. Completely agree with that, Allard. I think, honestly, Connor Bradley's going to be so important. I mean, first choice right back next season, isn't he? Stepping into the further future. So that is crucial. Tam there saying, I reckon in certain games like this, we do need Trent's creativity. The Trent question, and I get, we're talking about a talent, an unbelievable player. I'm not debating that for a minute, Tam. Don't get me wrong. But Did we really lack creativity yesterday? I can't get behind that narrative because we had 12 shots in the second half. Jota should score that chance, let's be clear. Salah should score that chance. It's a terrible miss, isn't it? Elliott should score. Chiesa has a good chance late on. Creativity was not the reason that happened yesterday or the reason we lost yesterday. It was a case of horrendous errors in the first half and not taking those chances. Arguably, give yourself too much to do. Probably the truth somewhere in between there. But I can't get behind that creativity narrative. However, we've got to move on from this. As Allard said, we need to win the next few games because if we don't, it might get tricky playing Arsenal. Now, I'm actually, when I look at the next few games, and maybe you'll say this is wild, playing a game a week, I'm actually quite confident. I'm quite bullish about this, to be honest. There is a title to be won. And if it does load, when I look at the fixtures here, just a reminder, West Ham, 2 o'clock Sunday, Leicester away, a Spurs at home who will likely be focused on the Conference League in that game. Honestly, I think if you handpicks may be too strong, but when you look at those next 3 fixtures, I don't know about you, I think we will notch 9 points. And if we do notch 9 points, that takes us to 82. Now, just a reminder, Arsenal can only get another 21 points, 83. Might well be enough anyway. Yeah, it's a big ask for Arsenal, especially when you look at everything they've got to go a perfect record. There's nothing that indicates they're not even going 2 points a game at the moment. So those next 3 games, starting at West Ham, are massive. 2 of them at home as well, which is great. So actually, yeah, I get it why people are a bit sort of, you might start Monday a bit down, but hopefully this has been a bit of catharsis for whatever it's called for you all and a bit of a boost going in. And this coming week on AI, we have got content out the wazoo. So at 9 o'clock, very shortly, I was David Lynch for Media Matters yesterday. I know there was Raw out, all the normal shows. The Up Boys will be doing their show as normal. We've got Transfer Market Metrics. We've got the Transfer Show. There is content galore coming forward. But I look at those 3 and I'm confident, honestly. West Ham at home, followed by Leicester away and Spurs at home. It's a good 3. And I know some people are spiraling. I can see it in the chat when I go, what's after that? Like, we might just need a point then from Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Brighton away, Crystal Palace at home. We'll get it. Just in case you're wondering, ladies and gents, it wasn't a good game yesterday. Just in case you're wondering, the first half was terrible. We gave ourselves too much to do in the second. Just in case you're wondering, though, Liverpool are going to win the league. And your mates will be taking digs and they'll be putting things in the chats and your WhatsApps or whatever. Sometimes you have to take your medicine a little bit. But the Reds are going to win the biggest prize there is. Number 20 beckons. Let's just keep it all in perspective. But there we are. On Monday, the 7th of April, enjoy your week ahead. That was another news round for Anfield.